Hi, my name is Anna Kay Aquaro, and I'm here at the red carpet world premiere of American Born Chinese, where I'm going to talk to the cast and crew about their upcoming project. Come on down. Love to.
Okay.
We're both students from the University of Texas at Austin.
Oh, hi.
And so we're super
so
excited
cool.
to be here and super excited to have
Yeah.
you. My first question for you is, you have such an extensive career in writing for animated television shows,
I do,
specifically with Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you took from that into this live action story.
Well, specifically for Bob's Burgers, that is a lightning in a bottle. That's a group of people and a storytelling world that I don't know if I'll ever be able to recreate. It was such a special part, a way to start my career as a writer. The one thing I will say that's unique about Bob's, even more so, is that we've made 250 episodes of that television show. And in today's world, that's very, very rare, right? So 250 times we've come up with an idea, we've worked out a script, and then we've put it on TV. And when you do something that many times, you get a sense of what it feels like to complete the task, you know. And so Bob's has been a real boon for me. I also just am naturally, I think, smarter and funnier for having been around those writers and Lauren Bouchard for 10 years of my life. And so, to this day, you know, I've done other things in my life. To this day, when I mention Bob's Burgers, seems like at least a few people in the room turn their head and want to know more. So I love that. I love that show forever.
And then this storyline has coming of age themes, cultural identity, action, everything. What really drew you into this project? What was that core idea?
Well, I was just thinking about you want to work, and B, you want to work on good things, and then C, every once in a while you get to work on things that are personal, and those three things don't always come up. So when you get to work on something that's good, that is personal, you got to do it. And so I think when I was offered the opportunity to adapt the book, it was scary, but you have to do it, because why else are you an artist, or why else are you a creative if you're not going to tell your story? And this is a chance to do it with an incredible work of fiction. So that's what drew me in. And then when we started layering on things, whether it was the stunts or my ability or my hope to bring comedy to it and heart, and then eventually movie stars like Michelle and Ki Kwan, then it started to really feel like we had something, we were cooking with gas here. So, yeah.
Between Fresh Off the Boat and Doing Kamaloa, you have a lot of experience in sharing stories with minority-driven cast. I was wondering what really speaks to you in doing that.
I mean, I've always, it starts from when you're a kid and you're watching shows, and when I grew up, there wasn't a lot of shows that had characters that look like me, and now I'm in the lucky position to sort of help with that, so I'll do everything I can to do it, yeah.
Being the writer of the graphic novel, I was wondering what was the biggest lesson you learned when adapting your story into television?
So when you're doing a graphic novel, you're sitting by yourself in a room in front of a drawing table, and making a TV show is almost the exact opposite. You're constantly collaborating with other people, and I think that was the big lessons, was about collaboration and how important collaboration is. The way I've described it before is the book is my story, but this really is our story. The differences between the book and the television series point to a lot of different people putting their own life experiences into the story. And I'm really excited for people to see that.
You have such an extensive career working in Chinese language action films, and I was wondering what you took from that when working on a fantasy family show.
It made all the action scenes for me quite easy. I've spent a lot of time on wires. I've spent a lot of time doing, Hong Kong style choreography, so all of that was pretty easy. I didn't really have to specially train for it, so that was easy. But also, understanding how to bring our cultural stories to the American screens, right? Because Monkey King, the character I play, is very ubiquitous through Asian culture. Like every kid in Asia, whether it's China, Japan, Korea, knows the Monkey King, right? And so it's very exciting to probably bring that character to a greater American audience and kind of introduce that side of our culture to America, right? And so that was exciting for me to be able to bridge both worlds. Because I spent so much time in Asia, but also have spent a lot of time here in the U.S. and being American myself, it was a really great opportunity to be the cultural bridge to all that.
I think it was the family. I mean, the fantasy is always fun to do, but the family thing was the most interesting for me. Because, we have over the years seen so many different representations of an Asian family. Our ideas are always, strict, stern, hardworking. But I think even within that framework, I mean, there's so much life and there's so much nuance in our lives. And I think, thanks to Gene Luen Yang, thanks to Daniel Destin Cretton, thanks to these wonderful performances as well, I think we hope to capture a level of authenticity and, and realism so that we are able to tell our stories in a fully realized way.
And I was wondering what drew you into this project.
Oh, definitely the father and son relationship between Simon Wang and Gene Wang, because again, most of the shows that I saw growing up, as well, like in American television, I mean, the fathers are archetypes. They're very specific, and I felt that wasn't true of my own experience, and so I found this was one way of expressing, my reality and my memories of growing up.
What about the character Amelia really inspired you the most?
I think for Amelia, as an actor, for me, a lot of roles, especially for younger women, a lot of them are very one note, and it's sort of just like one thing. You're either like smart, or you're cute, or you're the crush, or the sister. And I think Amelia was someone that from the get-go is very well-rounded and had a plot line to follow instead of just, yes, her plot line's attached to Jin's, but it's sort of developed throughout that she has her own issues and her own things that she struggles with. And so I think having that sort of plot line for herself and not just in assist to someone else was really nice.
What really resonated with you with the character of Jin?
For me, it was everything. Yeah, reading this graphic novel for the first time, it was very striking how this character really just felt like someone was spying on me when I was a kid, and I'd never, ever felt that way before. And so, yeah, it was just really exciting, and it was very moving because it was the first time I'd ever experienced that.
Is that what really drew you into this project, you would say?
Yeah, totally, absolutely, 100%. I was really excited about it and the character.
What were some lessons that you learned on set?
I mean, watching these legends like Michelle and Key and Daniel, who've been in the industry for so long and have done so much, continue to be as gracious and kind and as wonderful and open as they are, that made me, that lit a fire under my butt as someone who's starting out in this career, to be okay, that's the kind of person I want to aspire to.
With regards to the Disney Plus audience, I was wondering what you wanted audience to take away from this story.
Well, so when I was doing the book, in a lot of ways, I was working through these issues, almost like demons that had been plaguing me since I was a kid. And by putting it out on paper, some of the things that I had been scared of when I was a kid no longer felt scary. I hope some of that comes through to the viewer.
What advice do you have for students that are interested in pursuing careers in the entertainment field?
I mean, you're going to be rejected. It's going to be a really long, hard road. But if you believe in it, just keep at it. And your passion for the project that you're pushing will outlast anybody who says no to you.
My advice, and this is just me speaking to myself, is to set short to midterm goals. We obviously all want to make our great American film or our opus or whatever, but I think in other jobs and occupations, they give you those little short-term, you're going to finish law school, you're going to get a job at a firm. In creative spaces, you don't have those necessarily. And so you have to give yourself that. And so after a year, you can say, I did it, or I didn't, or I came close, or I definitely went over and beyond. And then 3 years, and then 5 years. I think that's how creatives can feel progress and feel good about themselves. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're so excited to watch.
Good luck. Yeah.
Thank you.